Welcome to Flow. Let's get started. Today we'll start off in a cross-legged position. Bring your hands to rest on your knees or your thighs. Allow your eyes to close or find a soft gaze. And take these first few moments to bring your focus and awareness to your breathing. With every inhale, acknowledge the expansion of your ribs, the expansion of your lungs. And with every exhale, root your butt bones heavier into the mat as you lengthen your spine up towards the ceiling. Take a few more moments of intentional breath here. Try to bring this intentional breath with you through the rest of our sequence. Slowly start to open your eyes, unravel your legs, bring your feet so they're flat, and cross your right ankle over your left knee. And then start to shift your right foot over towards the left. And we'll take this about 10 times, and you can move nice and slow here. If you want to linger a little bit longer with your right foot a little more over towards the left, feel free to do that. Nice and slow, maybe allow your torso to lean back a little bit so you can access the shape. Flex your right foot a lot. And this is just a gentle way to begin to open through your outer right glute. Even though your torsos may be leaning back, try to keep your spine as long as possible. And after your last one, allow your right foot to make contact with the ground so you're coming into a seated spinal twist. Now, if this is too intense for you, allow your bottom leg to straighten, rotate or twist to the right, and fold your body over to the right. And breathe here. Your diaphragm is slightly constricted because you're in this twist, but still try to fill that space with air, with breath. Bring yourself back up. Take your right leg and swing it around and out to the side. Keep your left knee bent. Stretch your right fingertips towards your right foot and reach your left arm up and overhead, a huge side stretch. Feel the space that you can create from your left rib to your left hip. Breathe into that space. Your left butt bone may want to pull up off the ground. Try to keep it rooted down. Bring yourself upright, rotate your torso towards your extended right leg, and then release your body, your torso, over your right leg. Try to rotate your chest so it's truly spinning towards your right shin. And then imagine that your chest gets closer to your shin. Take big breaths here. Breathe into this wide back space. Roll yourself up. Take your left hand behind your left hip. Push your hips up off the ground and take your right hand up and around, a big front body opener. And then slowly release everything back down. Bring yourself back to a seat. We'll take all of that on the second side. So now cross your left ankle over your right. You may have to lift your hips up just a little bit. Flex your left foot. Allow your torso to slightly lean back so you can access this crossing. And then start to take these easy little shifts from side to side. It doesn't have to be a huge range of motion here. We just want to get a little bit of movement in with the stretch and in with this opening into your left outer glute. Even though the torso is leaning back, try to keep your spine as long as possible. And we'll take a few more here. And then after your last one, place your left foot down on the mat so you're coming all the way over to a twisted position. You can extend your bottom leg if that feels more accessible. Rotate your torso over to the right and release your arms over to the right. So this may feel a bit constricted. Just breathe into this space. Use your breath to facilitate your twist. Take a few more breaths here. Really allow your head to just hang over. And then slowly roll yourself upright. Take your top left leg and swing it around to the side of your mat. Keep your right knee bent. We'll start off with a side bend. Reach your left fingertips towards your left foot Extend your right arm up overhead and breathe into this space that you're creating between your right rib and your right hip. And while you're thinking of the space, the top side, that exposed side of your rib cage, think of the lower part of your waist as well. Both sides of your ribs equally pull towards your extended foot. Come back upright, reach your arms up overhead, rotate towards your extended leg, and release your body up and over. And breathe here. Breathe into your back space. Every exhale, allow the stretch to go a little bit further. Slowly bring yourself up. Take your right hand behind your right hip, push down into your hand, lift your hips up and reach your left arm back and around behind you. Nice and open through the front of your body. And then slowly bring your hips back down to the mat. And move yourself around to a downward facing dog. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Energize your heels down to the ground. Now reach your right leg up, bend your right knee, and open your hip. Now this is a little funky. Step the outside edge of your foot between your hands. Your right knee will slightly fall off to the right. Keep your back knee lifted. This is a pretty intense outer right glute and possibly IT band opener. Lower your hips down and then lift them back up. Nice and gradual again. If possible, you're on the outside edge of your right foot. Take a few more of these little up and down, and then move your right leg back up into the air. Shake your foot, your ankle around, and then place your right foot down to the mat. Lift your left leg. Take a moment here if you'd like to bend your knee and open your hip. And then same thing, step the outside edge of your left foot forward. Let your left knee open to the side. And then lower your hips. Of course, they don't have to hit the mat. Just lower the hips and then lift them back up. Keep your back toes tucked under. Keep your back knee lifted. So you're just allowing the hips to lower down and then bringing them back up. And your spine may move around a little bit with this. Again, this can feel pretty intense for that outer glute and maybe into the IT band as well. Last one here, move back to a three-legged dog. Lift your left leg up into the air. Take a moment again if you want to bend your knee or shake around through your leg, feel free to do that. And then place your left foot back down to the mat, downward facing dog. Lift your right leg, and this time slide your shin forward. So a little different from what we just did, coming into a full half pigeon. Set your whole shin down on the ground, lower your back knee. Take a few moments in an upright position, and then when you feel ready, you can start to crawl your hands forward into a sleeping pigeon. Now this is a pretty deep hip opener, and if you're feeling irritation in your knee or your hip, come down onto your back and find a counter stretch in a supine figure 4. And we'll be here for about 10 big breaths. And allow these breaths to be very intentional. So think with every inhale, allow yourself about 3 or 4 counts. And then with every exhale, same idea, about 3 or 4 counts. How can you allow yourself to be heavier and bigger at the same time? Breathe into those spaces where you're feeling resistance. What's going on with your shoulders? What's going on with your jaw or your eyebrows? These places it's easy to hold on to tension that don't really serve the posture. Pay attention to those areas. We've got a few more breaths here. Maybe try to slide your belly button a little bit further towards your right shin. Try to make your neck a little bit longer, your hips a little heavier. And again, breathe into your belly. And we'll start to move into your transition. Flip your back toes. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Lift your right leg up into the air. And take a moment, maybe flop around through your right foot, bend your knee, open your hip. Bring your right foot down and we'll move to the left side. Lift your left leg. Slide your shin forward. Find this shape again. Take the time that you need in an upright position. Shift around a little bit, and when you're feeling ready, lengthen through your spine and allow yourself to release over your left shin. See if you you can bring a little more shifting over to the right side of your body. If you notice you're really leaning over to the left. That's bound to happen slightly, but do try to bring your torso a little more over to the right and see what happens. And come back to those same breaths, or that same idea of breath. In for about 3 or 4 counts, and out for about 3 or 4 counts. Nice intentional breathing. Fill the belly. Fill your back rib cage. Allow all areas of your body to become soft and released. And you're about halfway through this posture. Maybe take this last half of the posture to see if you can go even a little bit deeper. Can you shimmy your spine a little bit longer? Can you reach your back foot further back behind you? Take 2 more big breaths here. Big intentional breaths. And slowly and gently start to bring yourself out of this posture. So your hands can come right under your shoulders. Flip your back toes and send your left leg up into the air. Kick around through your left foot, let everything be loose, and then bring your left foot back down to the mat. Lower your knees to the ground. Come to sit. Grab behind your thighs. Roll yourself all the way down. Extend your legs long in front of you. Bring your arms down by your side. Allow your eyes to close or find a soft gaze. And we finish our sequence the same way we began, by finding intentional breaths and noticing physical movement in your breath and any shifts you may feel in your body. Thank you for joining us. And that's your flow.